Hey guys, so All Elite Wrestling AEW had their first pay-per-view Double or Nothing. It went down. I watched it, and we're going to try and start doing some AEW reviews. Like I do WWE reviews. This is like the first legit competitor WWE has had in quite some time, since WCW back in the day. And yeah, we're going to break it down match by match like we do the WWE show, so let's hop right into it. The first match was the Casino Battle Royale, and the rules of this were, it was like a normal Battle Royal, except a group of wrestlers each drew cards from a deck, and depending on what suit you were, that's when you entered the match. So I think it started out with the clubs, and like 3 minutes later, they flipped the card and it was all the hearts, so everybody who drew a heart came in, so on and so forth. The last guy to enter the match was the guy who drew the diamond, or not the diamond, the Joker card. So in this match were a couple guys, MJF, Brian Pillman Jr., Glacier, Shawn Spears, aka Ty Dillinger, Tommy Dreamer, Billy Gunn, the Luchasaurus, Jimmy Havoc, and the guy who drew the Joker was Adam Hangman Page. Now, originally Page was supposed to have a high-profile bout against Pac, aka the former WWE wrestler known as Neville. Pac dropped out, so they had their match, I think, at Dragon Gate earlier this week. So they threw Page into the Battle Royal, and he ended up winning. So he gets a shot at the AEW World Heavyweight Championship, I think, at the next pay-per-view. I don't know if that's going to be Fighter Fest in June, or if it's the one they announced for August. But either way, he's going to be one of the two combatants fighting in that match. And this was a fun battle royal. It was cool seeing a bunch of different wrestlers, a lot of guys, former WWE, and the guys who made a name on the international scene and the indie scene, all in this match. A great way to introduce fans to AEW who are kind of on the edge of whether they want to buy the show or not. And seeing Adam Hangman Page win, good move in my book. After that, we had another really good match, Sammy Guevara versus Kip Sabian. This was a really, really fun match, lots of action, high-paced. These two guys worked out really well in the ring together, and in the end, Kip Sabian got the win. I was reading after the show, I think Daniels was lobbying for Sabian to be on this AEW Double or Nothing show, and they made the right call by having him on this match. Both these guys delivered, and Sabian got the win here. Another way just to entice fans who are watching the pre-show to buy the main Double or Nothing show. After that, we had the main show start. It was SCU versus the Strong Hearts. Strong Hearts are out of OWE, SCU. They came together to form the Addiction. Kazarian, Christopher Daniels, and Scorpio Sky came together in Ring of Honor before joining AEW. This was a fun match. Great 6-man tag to open up the show. Pretty much every team, all these guys on both teams had their time to shine. In my opinion, Scorpio Sky's the most athletic guy in this match. He looked really good. In the end, SCU got the win over the Strong Hearts. After that, it was the first ever AEW women's match. It was a triple threat, Smiley Kylie Ray versus Nyla Rose versus Britt Baker. And Brandy came out and had a bit of a shock, a bit of a plot twist before the match started. She introduced a fourth combatant. She said she wanted this match to be not be great, she wanted it to be awesome. And then who debuts but Awesome Kong. Looks like Awesome Kong is on the AEW women's roster. I was blown away by that. Did not see that coming. Fantastic surprise. So yeah, Awesome Kong is added to this match. Fun match, good action. Awesome Kong showing she can still go, but in the end, Britt Baker got the win, so she could be positioned as the main cornerstone of this AEW women's division going forward. After that, we had a tag team match. Best Friends, aka Trent Beretta and Chuck Taylor, taking on the teams of Jack Evans and Angelico. This was a fun match. Angelico and Jack Evans, they're good. They're really good. A lot of fast-paced action. The bout was, I thought, very, very fun to watch, and in the end, the Best Friends, Trent Beretta and Chuck Taylor, got the win. If this is what we get with tag team wrestling, the SCU Strong Hearts match was really good, and then followed up by another tag team match that was really good. If this is what AEW is going to do with their tag team division, sign me up, because this was a lot of fun to watch. After that, we had another 6-man tag team match. It was women. It was Rihu versus Ryo Mizunami, and Rihu and Ryo Mizunami and Hikaru Shida versus Yaku Sakazi, Emi Sakura, and Aja Kong. This was a good match, not as good as the other two tag team matches. A bit of a slow pace and kind of picked up. A little sloppy here and there, but still enjoyable nonetheless. And it was pretty cool seeing Aja Kong wrestle. But in the end, it was the team of Rihu, Ryo Mizunami, and Hikaru Shida who got the win here. Not sure if any of these women are going to be factoring into the long-term plans of the AEW Women's Division, but it was definitely a nice way to get another women's match on the card. After that, this is where the action really picked up. This is like where some of the big time matches that were being advertised for Double or Nothing started, and it was Cody Rhodes versus Dustin Rhodes, and Natural, the guy formerly known as Goldust. This was a brother versus brother match, or as Cody was saying, generation versus generation. He wanted to kill the Attitude, aka the Attitude Era. He wanted to end that tonight, and wow, this match was phenomenal. A great match, fun to watch, bloody, like unbelievable. This is the most blood I've seen in a wrestling match in quite some time. There's a point where Dustin had Cody set up for Shattered Dreams. Cody actually removes the middle turnbuckle, trips up Dustin, face plants the turnbuckle, and his head's just busted open. There's blood all over the place. It was gnarly. And then Brandy gets involved. She ends up spearing Dustin on the outside of the ring, but DDP comes out and brings it to the back. And Dustin and Cody just went at it. It was a fun fight, a brawl. A great story told in this ring, and in the end, Cody Rhodes got the win. After the match, it was announced that Cody, he said he already signed up for a tag team match at Fight for the Fallen, taking on the Young Bucks, and he doesn't need a tag team partner, he doesn't need a friend, he needs a brother. Looks like the Rhodes brothers are going to be reunited for one last tag team match against the Young Bucks at Fight for the Fallen. And it was interesting, before the match, Cody Rhodes came out, this throne that was kind of like Triple H just appeared on stage. Cody walks to the ring, Brandy hands him a sledgehammer, he walks back up and destroys the throne with a sledgehammer, like takes one swing at it, it cracks, fireworks go off, crowd's going nuts, they're eating it up. And yeah, so it looks like Cody was sending a message to the WWE that AEW is here to play. After that match, we had the AEW Championship reveal. The belt itself looks gorgeous, very nice. And who was there to present it? None other than Bret Hitman Hart. That blew my mind. Out of all the people in the wrestling world, I did not expect to see Bret Hart appear at AEW. He legitimately looked honored and thrilled to be there. It looks like it really meant a lot to him to have. It really meant a lot to him to have the company ask him to display and debut this AEW Championship belt. Adam Hangman Page is in the ring, and then MJF also came out and was cutting a promo. He looks like he could be positioned as a great heel for AEW. The way he was talking to Page like he was an actual horse, I thought was pretty hilarious. In the end, MJF ends up getting beaten up, and the segment was really just show off the new belt. After that, we had the AAA Tag Team Championship match, Lucha Brothers versus the Young Bucks. This was phenomenal. This was the best tag team match on the card. Arguably, you could say it was the best match on the card. I'm going to get to why I say arguably, because the Cody Rhodes versus Dustin Rhodes match, that was fantastic. This match was fantastic. Lots of high risk, fast-paced action spots in this match. Lucha Brothers known for their Lucha Libre style. Young Bucks are undoubtedly the best tag team in the world today, and their two styles meshed perfectly. These two teams delivered. In the end, though, it was the Young Bucks who got the win. And then after that, we had probably the most personal match on the card. Chris Jericho versus Kenny Omega. The winner would face Adam Page for the AEW Championship at a later event. And this was a really good match. Fun match. AEW smartly built off the existing storylines from other companies and other promotions and used that to help promote and build this card. They did that with this match. Jericho and Omega delivered in the ring. The ending was a little sloppy, but it was still an enjoyable match overall. And Jericho gets the win with a Judas effect, hits Omega with that elbow square in the jaw, knocks him out, gets the pin, 1, 2, 3. And yeah, that's how you cap off a fantastic debut Double or Nothing AEW pay-per-view. Or so you think. After the match, Chris Jericho grabs a mic. He's saying he wants everybody in the back in AEW. He wants all the fans to thank him. And he's not going anywhere until he gets that thank you. And then the crowd, you start hearing a rumble from the crowd, and like that rumble turns into like a bigger and louder pop. And then they show who's walked through the crowd. Jon Moxley, aka Dean Ambrose, the former Dean Ambrose. Jon Moxley, he's coming through the crowd, pops the barricade, gets in the ring, and Jericho, one of the best, not one of the best, he is the best in the world at what he does. It was did a fantastic job of selling his like shock and his awe here. You just see him drop the microphone. He's like saying, "What are you doing here? You don't work here." And Moxley's just like staring him down, hits him with the dirty deed. I'm sure they can't call it dirty deeds anymore. Hits him with the double arm DDT, gets up, crowd's going crazy at this point. There's Moxley chants going off everywhere. Hits the referee with the double arm DDT. And then he sets his sights on Kenny Omega, who actually had a broken nose. Omega broke his nose earlier in this match. So Moxley has his sights set on Omega. Looks like he's going to hit him with the DDT. Omega shoves Moxley out of the ring. They both fall outside below and start brawling all over the place. They're going through the crowd. They're working their way back up to the stage. And at the front of the stage, there's this big stack of poker chips because they're in Vegas. Double or nothing. Made sense. Somehow they both end up on this stack of poker chips. Moxley hits the double arm DDT on Omega on the poker chips and then proceeds to just dump them off the stack of poker chips onto this, like, I don't know what it was. It looked like glass. Probably wasn't glass, but this thing at the very bottom looked like it hurt a lot, and that's how the show ends. Moxley standing tall on a stack of poker chips, having just DDT'd Jericho, DDT'd the ref, DDT'd Kenny Omega. He took out everybody in the main event in like 2 minutes. So Moxley looks like he could be positioned as a top heel going forward because everybody loves Kenny Omega. But the crowd was chanting Moxley throughout. Had a very Stone Cold Steve Austin-esque swagger to this appearance. I was kind of getting vibes of Scott Hall when he made his debut for WCW back in the day, hopping the barricade, but it was like a mixture of Scott Hall and Stone Cold Steve Austin rolled up in the one for the debut, and the crowd was chanting Moxley, Moxley as it's showing off the air. I was hyped, I was pumped, I was super stoked for this, and yeah, AEW knocked it out of the park. Fantastic way to make your mark on the pro wrestling landscape. Definitely sends a signal to WWE, and yeah, that's all I got for you. If you haven't seen AEW Double or Nothing, make sure you check it out. One of the best wrestling shows I've seen in a while. And that's all I got for you. If you like this video, feel free to get a thumbs up, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel. Check out my website, cincyfanzone.blogspot.com. Give me a follow on Twitter at Cincy Fan Zone. Give me a follow on Instagram at Cincy Fan Zone. And yeah, that's all I got. Thanks for watching, and we'll see what AEW does next.